Welcome back to another battle, everybody. Today we're playing Progressive Capitals on the Canada Advanced map. We're playing as a green player out of the 4th position. I've got a lot of options here. I've got some decent play for the middle of the board here. This 1 wouldn't be horrible, but with black there, I don't feel super confident on that position. I'm going to go on this 2 over here on the left-hand side. In Alaska, that gives me potential positioning for Yukon. Also Alaska, that combination for a +7 if I'm able to hold both of those. And it does actually defend against all breaks into these bonuses, which is super duper important. Being able to defend on this map in particular against any breaking area in your bonus is very important. And the reason I say this is like, oh, we'll see money. They could break up into North Slope. You can't defend that. But that's not the case, because if they hit Dawson City into North Slope, they open up my capital by being in Dawson City. So that gives me some options. I can keep the cap open down towards Prince Rupert here. I'm not sure where red goes. Maybe red goes Fort Nelson. If that's the case, then hopefully we'll be able to agree upon some sort of nice positioning here. Now, this is a really interesting and also very bad blue capital chosen there. Red does go down there. I'm hoping he plays for Alberta before he plays for British Columbia. But either way, we'll see what happens. This map, and I'm hoping red understands this, I'm hoping he just plays for BC first. This map is, and I love it for this reason, although it's very fun against good opponents, players who understand the game at a high level in Capital Conquest. For players who are super aggro, it is the self-sabotage map. So I like it a lot because you have to respect the bonuses of other players without going too crazy, right? Like, if one player breaks a neighbor and those players just keep quarreling, someone else will snowball on a different part of the board. It is almost always guaranteed to happen. But this is Tier List Tuesday, a series on the channel where we play every single map in the game of Risk on the meta settings, see how they stack up against each other. We're playing again as a green player out of the 4th position, and we are playing what we call the meta settings. Those are auto setup, 60-second turn timer, progressive cards, balanced plus dice, no rank restrictions, alliances, and portals are off, fog and blizzards are on, with neutral inactivity behavior for this particular series to try to keep the games a little bit tighter, because the bots tend to snowball these games into some very, very lengthy ones if the bots, if a player bots out when all the caps are really large and they're not easy to eliminate. Black only puts 3 troops on cap despite starting with 6, so I'm not sure where those other 3 landed. My maneuver here, I was hoping he wasn't going to hit me there. He actually may have tried to sneakily play for Ontario instead of the Manitoba bonus that he is in. And yeah, I think he did do that. Cap is super undefended. I'm not going to make a play on that myself. We're going to put everything here and go north. We're going to take Yukon, and ideally, I will have enough juice here to also take Alaska. I'm not going to have enough juice to take Alaska. We just got atrocious dice. So I will wait to do that. And this is the test, right? Red can likely take Alberta or British Columbia here. If he immediately breaks my Yukon, not great. I lost 4 troops hitting 5. So that is really quite bad for me. I was hoping to have a better rolls than that, but I needed to get through here at some point. So white has a very weak cap. I can't remember. I think it was yellow here on Thompson. So yellow does have a bonus. He may roll this black cap initially. Blue has taken half of this. Blue may go for this whole bonus here, and that might get yellow to go up into him. A Greenland turn 1 take is normally not a bad thing, but you're going to immediately open up. Oh, and he's pathing this incorrectly. Maybe he already had the corner here on Kujalek. But interesting play by blue. I'm not even sure he fortified back to cap there. Red dumps everything here and goes to the right to take Alberta. All right. This is exactly right. It's pretty quick too, so we'll have to keep that in mind. But that is exactly what I was hoping for, is that red may just be a good neighbor here. And he did. He could have broken me and still taken the bonus, But that's the kind of self-destruct maneuvers that people tend to do on this map. It's very interesting. For those of you who don't know, I've voiced this in streams before. I've even probably voiced it on other videos on this map. This is one of my favorite maps in Risk. It is... I don't know that I have a distinct favorite anymore, unfortunately, but this is definitely top 5 for me, if not like top 3. Las Vegas is in there as well. I really like the airship map. I know it's cliche because it's one of the most popular maps. That map is fantastic. It's so much fun to play, in my opinion. This map, I think, is one of the coolest in terms of diplomacy and how I feel like it really stretches the bounds of how good of neighbors can players be to each other. So Black actually holds Ontario here, which is super interesting because if Yellow was the player here on Thompson, I probably would have investigated taking the Black player's capital there, especially getting as many troops as he did. Now Black's going to go just for a second bonus here. This is going to get him plus 10 on his next turn. 10 additional troops off of bonuses. Not a very strong capital, but that's not a super big deal. I'm actually going to take off of this purple territory to try to get one extra territory here. Because I had the 2 there, and if Red wants British Columbia, then this is nice, where it's one fewer piece that he needs to worry about. Now, what's interesting here is I think Blue may have held Greenland. He did. I think that's a big mistake from Yellow. Blue had a card block, a cap that you can card block with one spot and then the other capital. I mean, this cap spot on Kakurlik, that's how we're going to pronounce that, was not very good. So I'm very intrigued by that. And Blue actually quit. I think he just tried to roll Yellow's cap. Which is interesting because if Red had a border on Yellow's cap and just saw that, notice how Red put nothing here on the left-hand side. Nothing on the left-hand side just for Red other than the 2 troops that he landed on Fort Nelson there on his capital. Yellow has not quit, but I would not be surprised if Red just took the Yellow capital after Blue slammed it on that initial loss. So I think we investigate going north. Yellow does not lose the cap, so I'm not sure what Red did because Blue held the bonus. Red, I think, did know that Blue's cap was here. So maybe he knows that was taken. Yellow playing, after taking his initial bonus, Yellow is playing very, very passively. Black has double bonus now. I'm interested to see what my opponents do because now we're getting past that point where everybody's got a couple bonuses. Yellow, I think, just has the 1, but several territories. Black's got 2. Red has just the 1, but may have darted up to take Blue's cap up here, which I don't think positionally is a very good capital. Black's going to go for his 3rd bonus. No. Plays it a little bit conservatively. We're getting 14. I'm not going to break Red. I'm being good neighbor with Red. We're going to casually sneak an additional bonus here. I'm waiting to see the bounds of... I'll tell him thanks as well. I'm waiting to see the bounds of what Red is kind of working with here. We got Blue here. I think that this doesn't connect. Yeah, you see that? Blue was here before. Red went up and hit... Is that the whole bonus? It is. Okay. Red went up to try to take Blue's cap. Did he get it? He did get it. Red has Blue's cap up here in Greenland. And I think that was smart. Sees Blue quit and bails. Red is now going to play for Saskatchewan, which I don't know if Black's going to like that. This might be our first betrayal here. Purple, meanwhile, no bonus. Not looking great for Purple. To note, Red did not break my +7 here. So Red and I are kind of playing like a powder keg situation where both of us are getting relatively strong, and if we break each other, there may be some problems that stem from that. Now, I'm probably not going to get too overzealous here and take none of it. I probably chill with the +14 here, especially Red taking his 2nd bonus, double capital for him. is going to get him plus 11. That's pretty comparable between the two of us. Now, meanwhile, yellow has actually lost some material. He's down to plus 11 total gained. So with plus 14 and 21 territories, if I do not get hit, that will net us 4 extra troops from territory count, and then 14 from our bonuses. We'll get 23 on this next turn. It may be in my best interest to hit red on this next turn, but that will also weaken me considerably once he retaliates. So I don't know that I want to risk that, as we may have the yellow player quitting now. I'm not sure why he would do that, but I think black is really the interesting X factor of this game, because I think that this is going to end up coming down to what black decides to do. If red and I remain cordial with each other, yeah, yellow botted. Black, meanwhile, getting 15. I don't really want to show black what I'm trying to do. Or I could take none of it and see if red... Oh, black did break red in here. I'm wondering if this is a good time to play off of this normally. We're just gonna see how much board we can take. I think that red getting broken by black will attract the red player to black. You know, very much a doesn't do anything unless he gets broken type player. Like, just continues playing his own game. I'm also trying to go a little bit slower here to not let on to too much skill. And we'll see. If he breaks me, he breaks me. He probably doesn't let me hold a +8 here. You take BC? No, he just takes BC and chills. So he let black break him. Doesn't break me in none of it. Which I think is a mistake. But he also knows that I'm lurking right next to him. I have cap opening into him. Guys, I don't recommend playing like this, by the way. This doesn't work frequently. This usually scares somebody off. It just so happens that it is kind of working right now. Weirdly, also, purple is still playing. He still doesn't have any bonuses. It would probably make sense to aggress purple at some point, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. It also might make sense to just take black's cap, but I'm worried that red's going to be scared by me if I do that. I mean, you see, black is not defending his cap very well. I don't know if that will change. He's defending this bonus. This is a split bonus, too. I could break both of his bonuses and take his capital pretty easily. But the question is like, when do I drop the hammer? Because it's going to get to a point where I maybe scare this player off, scare red too much. I think I dropped the hammer on black right now. I don't see why I wouldn't. At this point, I have the chance to gain what is arguably the best cap on the board. That was really good dice, too. Let red get his 19. I got 33 there. I don't think red's going to hit me. I'm not even sure he knows I just took black's cap. There might be some blue down. He may be taking blue's one card. I don't know if that's worth it either. Yeah, so I think blue did try to roll yellow's cap here and failed. Purple's still getting 5. Now, I've taken black's cap and I broke both of black's bonuses. So that was right, because these add up to 10. The additional 5 for the capital and the 3 troops you start with each turn. And black's going to get the second trade. He's going to get the 6 trade and likely 3 troops. So we have 14 on 15 is certainly not going to win. It's possible he stole Alberta on that last turn from red. Not Alberta, sorry, Saskatchewan. I'm not convinced, though. Yellow is still botted. We're in a decent position, but I can't get too overly aggressive into red. He hasn't jumped to 3 caps, so he hasn't taken the yellow cap yet, but I do think he likely took Greenland because he knows yellow's botted. But I've got a decent card block opportunity there. It's really going to be about hitting black because I think purple's playing very conservatively on cap. They're somewhere likely over here in Quebec. I'm surprised red didn't drop like the wow or well played or whatever there. Now, we don't know where black's going to go. Black may try to loop around and hit my bonuses. Again, he's only going to... He does actually get 8, so he got a +2 somewhere. But the pathing here is not great to be able to get to the rest of my bonuses. Like, this isn't very good. 4, 3, 2. He's only going to be able to... If he paths this correctly, he's only going to have a 2-on-1 to potentially break Northwest Territories. And he fails it. I'm obviously not going to let him hold Ontario here. He should... Yeah, I was going to say, he should hit that, but I'm not going to let him hold it. And he moved a 10 over here. Unfortunately for you, let's just make this 27, I think is good there. And now we just have to full aggress black. Let's do 6. I had a feeling he did not take this bonus. Okay. Going a little bit faster here. And red could kind of mess me up here, but we're hoping that red is chill. See if that lasts. Black is now very weak. May have a trade on 3. I'm hoping red hits the yellow cap, because he won't be able to get the yellow kill if he hits the yellow cap. But the yellow cap positionally is what he should probably go for. 5 down here, 16 there. Just takes and chills. Yeah. All right. Now, without... Black's going to have the 7 here. If he doesn't have a trade, he's just going to have 10 to loop around with. So, does purple come hit me? Or is purple just going to take once and chill? Splits. That's actually huge. Because logically, black would play off of the 7 here. Logically, black plays off of the 7 to try to loop around, right? And he will hit the purple 4 to try to do that. If he trades, we're kind of out of luck anyway, but he'll only get the 12 trade. If he doesn't, then he's going to have to smoke the 4 with a 9, and that could potentially be bad dice. So, I'm liking where we're at right now. I think that hitting black on the turn that we did was the right choice. He's leaving so many troops off capital. I mean, he fortified like a 7 or 8 troops over here after he won this roll. It's bananas. So he had a ton over here on the left-hand side, holding way too many troops off the cap. And you see, I can tell red is a pretty good player. And he likely took his fortify on a different spot because he left the 4 here. But I can tell red is a good player because red is... I don't really want to lock this off, but it doesn't have any pathing out of here anyway. Because red is keeping all of his troops on cap and keeping his cap open. And that's a very, very smart way of playing. We're eventually going to have to deal with him. And if black bots here, which seems pretty likely, red probably aggresses me. I'm almost hoping he goes into purple first. This seems like a potentially opportunistic player. Yellow bot is going to quit soon. It places nothing on the 5. 37 troops. Holy cow. 10 on 5 wins. We're gonna play conservatively on this turn. I'm not gonna worry too much about red. I'm gonna split. We're gonna go 12 here and the rest. Yeah, there goes yellow. I'm gonna go 42 there. Should be good. Trades aren't that high. Or if red hits me, I will have double cap retaliation. 42 and 38, not bad. Swings around a red. Yellow's officially out. Red being 25. If he hits me, he's got to hit me everywhere. I think he knows that, but I don't know if he was expecting to see me here. And he keeps most of that down there. I wonder if he's going to try to stay on black for the elimination on those extra cards. Purple had 6 here. Purple is getting 6 total. Just takes the 1. Trades are not very high right now. I'd rather see purple trade in first. How do I hide? I don't know how I hide the rest of this black bot from red. Are these the remaining 2 territories? It might just make sense to take the extra cards so that red doesn't get them. If there's more than these 2 territories, if we see multiple of the troops placed elsewhere, it only puts 1 here. So that means, I mean, there was this territory here, but it didn't add anything here. So there's at least this territory and then at least 1 more unmarked territory that we don't see. I'm not going to... We're playing a little bit passive now. You know, red and I want to get this up to 42 and then split evenly. 17 each. Okay. But I'm trying to... it's right here. Okay. I'm trying to put myself in a position where my caps are nice and strong so that when I need to retaliate, I can. He might go for the cards here. I think it's early for the cards. I personally thought it was a bit early for the cards. Hits black there. Doesn't have anything pointed at the 9 right. It breaks me to hit it. I don't know that he's got enough. I don't think he read that correctly. I'm going to cry too. He might have enough to get over here. He weakens it for me. That's nice at least. Guards with the 17. I think that's fine. He might hit me on this next turn. Purple might take the black kill here, actually. I think on this next turn, because of how strong my caps are, if purple hasn't taken the yellow capital, I think that that's in my best interest to do. He may have just taken it right now. I should eliminate black here. I think the turn I struck black down was that was necessary. I do very much think that that was a necessary turn to make that play. I think on this next turn, my best bet is to try to find the blue kill and take the black kill. Because red has this whole bonus up here, so blue is somewhere on the baseline here. And if red was going to go, the interesting thing here is if red was going to go for those extra cards, I'm just double checking to make sure blue's not in here. We are on 5. I'm content with the size of my capitals as well. That gives me a +2 on that spot. So this is the end of blue. That's 1 extra card. At this point, any extra cards is good for me, even if red's about to trade in. Let's hit this first. Is this the end of black? Is this the end of black? Yes. I don't think I have the juice to eliminate yellow right now. So I'm not going to. There's too much of purple off cap in here. I'm not sure why purple's playing that like he is. But since I'm closing this cap, that cap's already closed off, I'm actually going to fortify this. Apparently not back to capital. I'm just going to put it over here. This actually acts as like a little sleeper agent in case red tries to hit me. On 4 cards as well. And red may go for the yellow kill. I'm not sure he's got the positioning to do it. And I actually think Minnesota cuts off Kenora South from Wisconsin. So this 17 can't actually path over to the yellow material in here. So if he jumps to 3 caps, that's exactly what I expected. I think the yellow cap was of decent size when he first bought it out. So if purple doesn't take the yellow kill here, I will. He backs that up to cap. That's smart. I do believe I'm likely still larger than this player. Purple actually trades early. If he's sitting next to that, he actually may steal this cap away from red if red didn't defend it well enough. which would be really interesting. All three of us would have 2 capitals. I don't think he's well positioned to take the yellow material out of. He did. He took it away from red. He just yoinked it. Wow. That is wild. I mean, that probably loses both of them the game. That's probably exactly what I needed. I'm going to set just in case. This purple player is clearly a true random player, by the way. Where's your other capital? I hit here because I realize I'm not connected on this stuff. Don't love that purple cap, but purple just got himself killed pretty much. That's pretty much just what I needed, though. I needed him to roll this, and he did, because whatever it hits for. He traded in to start that turn. Traded in for 32. So he must have had stuff sitting against it anyway. I jumped to 3 caps. We're on 5 cards. Is red just going to chill? Interesting. Red's just going to chill. So red and I are going to have to force a 1v1 against each other. Purple, obviously, with no trade in here. I can probably just eliminate him. I know that this is a lot of junk off cap, but I'd rather have the positioning. This is so many troops off cap. That 9 come back. Honestly, I don't eliminate him on this turn. This is no longer connected. So what I'm going to do, since the 29 is open, we will fortify to that. I'm going to hit to the right. I'm going to wait for him to be on 3 cards before I try to kill him. Red won't know how much I have over there. He'll just see how much I have here. I like my prospects here. Even though I'm letting red get 30 troops a turn, he's letting me get 53. But this is the diplomacy. Us two go into the end game together. Admittedly, I got every single card elimination, which definitely doesn't help. He doesn't know purple is capped here, does he? Because he's taking all of this ground in the USA bonus to try to take the USA bonus. Yeah, I get why he did that. Unfortunately, we're going to let purple take the extra card, and then we're going to eliminate him. I don't have a trade on 3. Purple actually dumps everything together here. At some point, you've got to defend yourself. He should keep hitting me. Yeah, he doesn't. This is going to get him eliminated, especially the 8 comes off. That makes my life a little bit easier. Yeah, I'm going to eliminate him for the 3 cards. This will trade me. I can break all of red's bonuses, and that should just be curtains on this game. Let's see. Red has, I think, quite a few troops up here, so I'm not going to risk that break. And back-to-back trade-ins here is super duper nice. Don't open his cap, break all of his bonuses. I don't know if I got him below 12 there. I didn't. I didn't. He's at about 15. He can come roll this cap, but this cap is not very good. He knows I'm here, so he'll break everything, but he also opens up all of my caps in the same process. I'm eventually going to need to try to get him down to a card block. I mean, this is smart. Break everything he can. He's not going to be on a set, though, so if he leaves me off cap material, I will absolutely hit it. I don't want to open up the cap on the bottom in this bonus, so I'm not going to do that. And at that point, you got to keep hitting. You got to keep hitting additional territory. I will trade again. He doesn't even open the 17 here, so I'm not going to defend that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start where. I'll start where he started, right? Do I risk opening this cap up? I point that. So he's at 167. I'm at 370. And he doesn't have a trade. He's on 3. Doesn't have a trade, though. Opens me back up. It's one extra line I don't have to open. Doesn't even take his bonus back. I mean, it's only a matter of time at this point. I'm trying to bait him into rolling one of these additional capitals, but it doesn't look like he's going to do it. Broke everything. Fair enough. So this is one extra spot that I can eventually... Oh, alright, he blocked his cap off. That's exactly what I wanted. Completely blocked his cap off. Perfect. So now I don't have to open it up. We can eventually block it. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point block plus cap on this spot. I opened him over here, but ideally I hit that. He can still play up the 40, but look, he can't break. He didn't trade, so he can't break nearly as much as he did before. Get 55 extra troops. He's going to have a set here to be able to do something to me. So at this point, just recuperate and drop troops on cap. And honestly, how high are the trades right now? They are 60. I can take some troops off of this cap, actually, to get prepped to hit him. I think a 40 cap is fine. He had like 80 here after we were done. He's going to roll off of this up here. Might still be able to fortify that way, but... opens this capital up. He may eventually run past the 17. I'd like him to roll it, to be honest. Because I was not well defending this. That was intentional. All right. He goes plus 4 on it. I'm on 4 cards. Hey, see, now he doesn't break all the bonuses. You can pull off that cap. I don't really care. Just trade it right back. Yeah, I went -6, so... he went -4, I went -6. Eventually going to block him on the left-hand side, and he's down to 7 troops and trades early. Sick. That's perfect. Because he hopefully just goes and rolls another capital. I'm actually surprised he rolled that. I'm surprised that it was even going to be a successful roll. Pulls off over there. So we will chunk through all of that. Quick fortify. I got 3 extra troop spots here. I imagine he just pulls off. And trade for good measure. Round it out. Do a nice little circle. Good game. Well played. I'll finish the map for you guys. Get the full vision. For those of you watching at home. Nice little spiral. Not meant as BM. Just wanted to complete the map, Red. I hope you understand. GG's to the red player. That's the exact kind of diplomacy I was talking about. Nets you first and second place. If Red had found the black kill, admittedly, I don't think he actually had enough troops to go hunt the rest of black there. There was 2 like 9 stacks on the right-hand side that would have caused issues there. And we're not surprised to see that Red was the highest ranked player in our lobby at expert, triple beginner on purple, yellow, and blue, and then novice on the black player. Got to defend those capitals, Black. Black had a great position, but just simply did not defend his capital well enough. Let's take a look at Canada Advance on the map picture here, and then the actual tier list. So these bonuses, let me double check this. I'm actually going to keep this here on my side monitor so I can go through this. I forgot to run through the bonus accounts. Yukon's a +3. Alaska, Manitoba, Saskatchewan are +4s. Alberta, British Columbia, Greenland, Newfoundland, and Labrador, those are the +5s. Ontario, the lone +6. Northwest Territory is the lone +7. Nunavut and Quebec are both +8s. And then the USA bonus down at the bottom is a +10. What I love about this map is, you guys know I absolutely love the big open maps that require diplomacy and progressive capitals. And you can see I was starting to set it towards the end. Card blocks are still possible on these maps. They just require a little bit more tact, a little bit more patience in being able to set that stuff and hoping that your opponent makes a mistake and blocking themselves off. I absolutely love this map. This is one of my top favorite maps in the game of Risk. Do I think it's as balanced as a map like Europe Advanced? No, I do think the one major flaw with this map is that if you have a neighbor that repeatedly breaks you, it is so unbelievably, incredibly difficult to stop the snowball of your opponents. And I think that keeps it out of the top spot on our tier list for that reason, because on the Europe Advanced map, you still have a chance at recovering because it's much more difficult on Europe Advanced to have an absolutely insane snowball. It still happens frequently, but this map, I feel like it happens a little bit more than Europe Advanced. But Canada Advance is going to land at number 3. Reminder, the tier list, in my opinion, is not... It's supposed to be a little bit more all-encompassing of the general consensus. And just because I like a map, like I like both Las Vegas and Canada Advance personally more than Europe Advance. But as far as being the best for the meta settings, I think that Europe Advance takes the cake over those. And I also think Las Vegas is a little bit more balanced for the meta settings because the blizzards can be more impactful and the bonuses aren't as impactful as Canada Advance. I think the bonuses keep a little bit more early game balance where nobody ever really snowballs on that map. And it allows the best players to shine. And I think those first 2 maps really allow the best players to shine. Canada Advance, sometimes the best players are just going to get repeatedly broken over and over again by a silly fella. But I love this map so much, and I couldn't keep it out of the S tier for that reason, because I have to give a little bit of bias into our tier list. We will be rounding out the first advanced map pack with Africa Advanced next week. Africa Advanced suffers from the same issues as the regular Africa map, unfortunately, but it's a little bit bigger. So we'll take a look at it. It might land a little bit higher than regular Africa, which we had in the C tier. Unfortunately, the Russia 2010 Advanced map is still out of the game. If that ever returns, along with both of the Moscow maps and the other Russia map, we will take a look at those when the time comes. In the meantime, we'll finish out with Africa Advanced and then start on our next map pack the following week. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back with more Risk tomorrow. As always, everybody, I have been C-Money. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a tremendous rest of your day. Peace.